Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, August 14th, 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. An X1.11 solar flare directly Earth facing has sent a halo coronal mass ejection directly towards Earth. Impact appears to be on the 18th. We also have incredible activity happening over at Etna. We'll be watching some of the live stream in just a moment. Absolutely spectacular there. The bad news is that Hurricane Ernesto has formed, the third named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season, and it is rapidly increasing in intensity. Keep calm. It's boom time. Quick look at the hail map for Tuesday, August 13th shows amazing numbers. 61,121 impacted with 1 inch or larger hail. That is 119 square miles. And the bullseye appears to be Utah, central Utah nonetheless. Ernesto is now a hurricane after bringing significant flooding to Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands and is intensifying as we speak. Here is the current information. Ernesto is at 80 miles per hour, moving northwest at 16 miles per hour. It's going to make a little zigzag as it heads directly towards Bermuda. The effects there will be early in the weekend, Saturday early in the AM. It's expected to get to Bermuda with winds packing 110 or higher. Could be Cat 2 or Cat 3 when it makes landfall on Bermuda. Here is the current key message for Hurricane Ernesto. Hurricane conditions are possible on Bermuda on Saturday, with tropical storm conditions possible by Friday afternoon. Rainfall associated with Ernesto may begin to affect Bermuda as early as Thursday and result in flash flooding across Bermuda later in the week and this weekend. Heavy rainfall will be diminishing across Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands this evening, which is good news. Locally, considerable flash flooding and mudslides will continue through tonight over the Virgin Islands and into portions of Puerto Rico. Even though Ernesto is forecast to remain well offshore of the U.S. East Coast, swells generated by the storm are expected to reach the area late this week and into the weekend. Beachgoers should be aware of significant risk of life-threatening surf, and especially rip currents, and stay out of the water if advised by lifeguards. Surf and rip currents are also possible on the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic, the Turks and Caicos, and the Bahamas during the next few days. So heed the warnings and stay alive. Quick look at the spaghetti models. They are all lining up on Bermuda. Unfortunately, a few of them are having... They're hitting eastern Canada here, but a few days out from now, we'll have a better telemetry on where this baby is going. It's certainly headed towards Bermuda. So if you live there or have loved ones there, please heed the warnings and prepare for Cat 2 or 3 landfall. Here's the full forecast. Ernesto impacting Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Dangerous heat across the south. Severe weather and flooding for the center of the nation. Heavy rainfall and strong winds and coastal impacts continue to affect Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands as Ernesto tracks northward. Meanwhile, a frontal system was lifting northward across the center of the nation with more showers, thunderstorms, and heavy rainfall. Heat concerns continue across the southern plains and the Gulf Coast. Holy macaroni in most of Florida. Fire weather and air quality concerns linger in the Pacific Northwest as there is no moisture coming to the region. We'll take a quick look at the GFS model here, and you can clearly see Hurricane Ernesto there just north of Puerto Rico and moving up towards Bermuda. Looks like landfall and major effects are going to begin Friday into Saturday. As far as the U.S., maybe some severe weather up here through Iowa on Thursday and Friday here in the center of the U.S., but nothing significant. The most significant weather is obviously Ernesto, as we keep a close eye on it, is making a beeline towards Bermuda. Dangerous LA fault system rivaling the San Andreas, tied to recent earthquakes. Holy macaroni. Now, Monday's magnitude 4.4 earthquake centered 4 miles northeast of downtown LA, was a modest but packed quite a jolt. Although no major damage was reported, experts say the trembler was in the general area of a dangerous fault system. One they have long feared is capable of producing a catastrophic earthquake in the heart of the city. The quake ruptured on a small section of a fault associated with the Puente Hills thrust fault system, which has long been cited as a major seismic hazard for Southern California because it runs through heavily populated areas and is capable of a huge quake. It's a reminder that it's actually our most dangerous fault, according to earthquake expert Lucy Jones, surpassing the San Andreas by magnitudes. How do you like them apples? Seismic update. No quakes of note, but we do have a cluster of seismicity in the west. I'm sure getting some people's panties in a bunch. Normal activity in Indonesia with 5 magnitudes across the board. Take a look at Etna. It has been spectacularly erupting now for dozens of hours. We can move it back here 3-4 hours ago, and you can see same activity. The activity has come to a close, though, an hour and 30 minutes ago. And there was a final barrage here. This is about an hour and 35 minutes ago. Take a look at that paroxysm. Absolutely fantastic. Here is the current situation at Etna. All is quiet as some lava is flowing down the flanks, but we'll leave you links to the live stream because it was an incredible paroxysm, to say the least. Definitely boom time. All this footage is coming from Afar TV, so give them a thumbs up there. Subscribe to the channel and tell them Diamond sent you. As we take a quick look over at worldwide volcano news, we've got an update on Svartsengi volcano. This is the Reykjanes Peninsula. Ground deformation and seismic data indicate usual pattern preceding eruption. You can see the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eruptions. And we are now exceeding the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as far as uplift. This is our current position. Mid-August, as the uplift and magma intrusion continues, an eruption is imminent anytime now. Semeru to 15,000 foot today. Sangay to 20,000. Reventador, 14,000 foot puff. White Island to 5,000. Sabancaya to 23,000. Semeru, who knew? Now you do, 15,000 foot puff. Ibu to 8. And we've got some weird imagery here from Nyamuragira volcano in Congo. Lava flow is moving north. White Island puffing to 5,000. Popo to 22,000 foot today. Etna, that amazing paroxysm coming in at 12,000 foot initially. And here we can see some thermals on Etna there. Obviously, you saw the video. Dukono, 8,000 feet. Sabancaya to 25,000. Etna is puffing and passing. Amazing shots from the Vortigine crater continues to increase, as we showed you. Semeru to 14. And the expected activity has evolved into tall lava fountains, which you just all witnessed. White Island to 4,000 today. Etna to 6. Reventador to 14, wrapping up worldwide volcano news for the 14th into the 15th. A quick look over at seismicity on the Reykjanes Peninsula is showing a few flurries of activity, nothing significant. We're waiting for a jump like this to begin the next eruption, and it looks like all is quiet on the Western Front as far as Iceland. And that brings us to space weather news for the 14th. We did have a long duration X 1.1 solar flare. Center disk there. Take a look at that. Absolutely spectacular. The CME associated with it is quite limited, and we'll show you the modeling in a minute. But the final update from SolarHam is the updated CME tracking model is showing that the CME associated with the X 1.1 solar flare early on Wednesday morning will pass Earth eventually. It's very slow moving. The faint, slow-moving plasma cloud is predicted to reach our planet on August 18th. That's 4 days from now. How do you like them apples? Let's take a look at the WSA endless spiral. and we'll load it live for you on the screen and get the latest update here. As we can see right there on the 14th, that flare coming out there. And the newest imaging is showing it's pretty significant. So early on the 18th, hopefully there's a reverberation to the 19th, which will give us an aurora event the night of the 18th into the 19th for North America. It looks like this may be more European and for the other hemisphere, but we'll wait and see how the telemetry plays out as we move forward. Overall, no other activity forecast from any space weather. We've got a huge coronal hole here, could be geo-effective in the next 24 hours. We could see a large earthquake in the next 24 hours based on this coronal hole. It's a little too far north from central latitude here that it actually makes a difference. So we really need the coronal hole to be more earth-facing to have more effect. We do have a big sunspot directly earth-facing, and that's what gave us that X 1.1 earlier, but has been silent since. So cross your fingers that all is quiet on the Western Front. Holy macaroni. Real quick, let's take a look. Do we already have it? Yes. Let's take a look at that activity. Boom, and then that halo. So we're going to have to slow it down for you to actually see the X1.1 halo. Look for a ring of white now to move out and away. So first there's this, and then there's that. Yeah, it's that's the X1.1. So we have a limb eruption first, boom, today, and then the halo X1.1 CME, which you can clearly see on LASCO C2 here, emanating directly away. Boom, and then boom. You picking it up? We just put it down. The U.S. Air Force avoids PFAS water cleanup, citing Supreme Court's Chevron ruling. The EPA says Tucson's drinking water is contaminated. In fact, for a 10 square mile region, but Air Force claims the agency lacks the authority to clean it up. Because of the Chevron ruling, well, it's just so insane, the world we live in, that these multinational corporations can pump trillions of tons of toxic waste into our rivers, our aquifers, pump them underground. Think about deep water well injection and fracking, creating 5 magnitude earthquakes in Texas, for goodness sakes. And now this, 3M and other corporations, including Bayer, Monsanto, they all have something to do with it. DuPont, hello, are all completely polluting the planet. While we're being taxed for carbon dioxide, which is plant food, all the real chemicals are being allowed to be dumped in rivers, streams, creeks, in ponds at the facility that then leach into the aquifers. This has been going on time immemorial for decades. These companies get away with it. They simply pay a few $1 million fine while they make billions in profits annually, and they could care less about the health of your family or the planet. That's how evil these fuckers are. Yeah, there's CEOs that are in their 60s and 70s that don't have long to live. They just want to drive around in their Ferrari or the BMW and bang their au pair, etc. Are you kidding me? We could all live on a better planet if we destroy the systems that are controlling us. Yeah, that means no more government, burn all the systems, and go back to an agrarian rural way. I don't need a highway. Why the hell do I need to go to LA for any fucking purpose ever, except to be raped and murdered by mobs of people? Anyway, I do digress. The World Health Organization today declared Mpox, a new iteration of monkeypox, as a global health emergency. This is more rebranding. It's not COVID now because we all know it's a fraud, but the WHO has a new fraud. It's called Mpox. It's not monkeypox because that sounds stupid. It's Mpox. Very dangerous, and it gets transmitted through touching, sex, air, breathing, everything. Whatever you want, it gets transmitted. I can't wait till the regulations. 22 feet from person to person. You need an umbrella, a face mask, and hand gloves. Maybe you need a crop top or a mini skirt to prevent the infection from entering your body. Who knows what the next insanity will be? Believe me, I will not be following any of the protocols from the World Health Organization ever, because they are literally the World Death Organization. You want health? Grow your own food. How about some Dancing with Smurfs tomatoes? Absolutely amazing. Heirloom, open pollinated, save your own seeds, just 75 to 85 days to maturity until you're eating your own, non-toxic tomatoes. Can you believe that? All you need is soil, air, light, and water. Wow. Those things don't cost much, especially in a time when the current administration claims that inflation is just 3%, when every product you buy is over 20 to 50% higher in the last year alone. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. Become a Patreon, support the work we do, but more importantly, come over to the Alliance of Native Seed Keepers and buy seeds. Just $2 a pack, open pollinated, Native American owned. All the workers own the company. And if you buy more than $25 worth of seeds, which could save your life, it's free shipping. Add our coupon code ORP2024, an additional 10% off. It's absolutely as if the seeds pay for themselves. How about fresh basil? How about fresh dill? How about all of these fresh vegetables without a single pesticide on it because you grew them? Carrots, tomatoes, peppers, corn, go get it. And that's a boom to knowledge. I can't implore you anymore to take hold of your future. If you are not approaching 50 to 80% self-sufficiency, where if the power goes off, you could survive and thrive fine, you are far off the mark and you will suffer in the future. Mark my words. Be safe. We love you.